Jide. Kata tuji kata la eluwe bo. Asọ̀rọ̀ ju eluwe bo. Gómìnà eluwe Jide. Ọmọ Èkó.
Alhaji Kwamwon, I really appreciate you. Thank you very much, sir. It is a great pleasure to welcome you all to year 2022 International Women's Day celebration tagged Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. #Break the Bias. This is being organized by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, and I want to particularly welcome the special guest of today's event, our E for She champion, Mr. Celebu, the man who is very passionate about the plight of women in Lagos State, our incident commander, Ekun Oko COVID, Mr. Project, Mr. Railway. Ẹyẹ bá mi fún gómìnà wa látẹ̀wọ́ kẹ́.
Jide. Kata tuji kata la eluwe bo. Asọ̀rọ̀ ju eluwe bo. Gómìnà eluwe Jide. Ọmọ Èkó eluwe.
We'll also use this opportunity to welcome our very dear mother in Lagos State. She's been so supportive to Women Affairs Ministry. I want to appreciate you, ma, for your support, for all your tips and all your advice. We women in Lagos State, we love you and we appreciate you. Dr. Mrs. Claudiana Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu, the First Lady of Lagos State. We choose to do things differently. Today, we are breaching the frontiers of silence and inaction by challenging every stereotype in the way of gender parity and inclusion. Here, at the center of excellence, the city of aquatic splendor, Lagos, we join change makers all over the world in a unanimous alliance to prioritize gender equality and indeed break the bias. Reports have shown that women and girls are more vulnerable in the effects of climate change than men, primarily as they constitute the majority of the world's poor and are more dependent on natural resources for livelihood. But the truth, as we all must know, is that these matters transcend sustainability or climate concerns. There are deep-rooted social, economic, and political barriers that limit the coping capacity of the average woman and hope for a better future. This is a clarion call for gender equality in all decision-making policies, identifying factors as equal pay and equal distribution of resources. Yes, we know that the National Assembly has refused and turned down all of our bills. The fight is not over. Because without women, there is no nation. This morning, we have gone out to protest, and we will continue to fight until we get our rights. The Commission on the Status of Women says 35% affirmative action. Nigeria will not be left out. But the consolation we have as Lagosians is the fact that our governor is he for she. So whether Nigeria likes it or not, in Lagos State, the 35% affirmative action will continue to be in place. Can we put our hands together for our governor? In line with the themes agenda of Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu of making Lagos a 21st century economy, the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation has established 19 skills acquisition centers across the state where no fewer than 20 vocations are taught free of charge. About 12,914 students have graduated from year 2019 till date, most of who have become employers of labor. In addition, 10,001 women had been trained and empowered in the 4-week short-term skills acquisition program from 2019 till date, ranging from various local governments and local council development areas to members of Committee of Wives of Lagos State officials, retired civil servants, communities around Lagos like the Oniru community, Tokpo community in Badagry, and Ajido community, wives of military officers, and women in the River Nile area. We've been to Irewe community in Ojo, wherefrom we also have been to several faith-based organizations like the Catholic women, the Pentecostal women, and the Ansaruddin women, as well as patients of sickle cell anemia, network of people living with HIV, and people living with disability. We have also trained internally displaced people at the IDP camp. All of these people trained were given free equipment for them to be able to start their own businesses. Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ ni Sanwó-Olú fún wa o. All of this was given to them free of charge. We did not just train them on skills, we also gave them entrepreneurial developmental trainings on ways to create new businesses, professional risk assessment, and profit marginalization. All of this was done free of charge. Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ ni Sanwó-Olú fún wa.
Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lọ̀gá fún wa. Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lọ̀gá fún wa. Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lọ̀gá fún wa. Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lọ̀gá fún wa. Òun táwọn kan sanwó fún. Òun táwọn kan sanwó fún. Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lọ̀gá fún wa.
Thank you very much.
Lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́ lọ̀gá fún wa.
Micro Enterprise Support Scheme, which is a social intervention by the state government through our ministry. The ministry, through this program, has empowered a total number of 4,885 beneficiaries with working tools, including pepper grinder, sewing machines, hair dryers, barbing sets with generators, barbecue makers, popcorn machines, and Android phones to enhance digital marketing of their products. We decided to take this program to communities. The government is doing a lot for people in the urban area. We decided that the government needs to touch the lives of people in various communities. In Alimosho, we went to communities like Benoje, Ishoto, Egbeda, Dadayeye, Ishuti, and Abaronje. In Ikorodu, we've been to Oshogun, Araromi, Ajegunle, Ishawo, Takpa, Owode Orile, Omajuwa, Ori Okuta, Ide Orogbo, and then the riverine area in Agboiketu. We've been to Ekpe Town, Eredo, Agbowa, Atoiki, Ikosi Ejiri, and Idomi. We've been to Ibejuleki, Badagry, Igborosu, Mowo, Topo, and Ajide. The ministry has trained 500 women in digital marketing and have given them Androids for them to cushion the effects of COVID-19 pandemic on their micro businesses in the states. Because of time, I'm going to skip some of these things, but I must mention that 850 women had benefited from the cassava vegetable farm cultivation and empowerment for rural women. They were given free farmland to cultivate their crops. In conclusion, I want to encourage women in Lagos State, Nigeria, and all over the world as we celebrate International Women's Day to avail themselves of various opportunities to become empowered, self-reliant, self-confident, and even as we strive to attain leadership positions across the state. At this juncture, I would like to crave your indulgence for all of us in this arena to stand up. I want to crave the indulgence of Mr. Governor, Mr. Deputy, and all the distinguished personalities on the state box and everyone in this arena to stand up as we take the pose for this year's International Women's Day. Can we all rise to our feet? The pose for this year's International Women's Day.
All across the nations, all around the world, women are longing to be free, no longer in the shadows, forced to stay behind.
Can we cross our hands?
In true equality. So sing a song for women everywhere. Let it ring around the world and never, never cease. So sing a song for women everywhere. Equality, development, and peace.
Women's Day! Beautiful women! Thank you, ma'am, for this great opportunity. God bless you and remain blessed in Jesus' name. Amen.
I know this program is for Lagos women, the entire Lagos women, but I would like to especially congratulate the APC women here. If you are APC woman, please show your hands by clapping for this beautiful program organized by the women of my voice to the voices of all distinguished speakers today as we celebrate the 2022 International Women's Day. I wish to congratulate again my sister, Honorable Bolaji Dada. A lot of insightful thoughts have emanated from us working on the House of Assembly this morning from precious speakers. Please allow me to focus my contribution on the topical issue of the recent gender equality bills presented at the National Assembly in terms of pertinence to our theme today of gender equality for a sustainable tomorrow. According to the United Nations Women, 2 main obstacles prevent women from participating fully in the political space. First are the structural barriers, such as institutions and norms, and the non-passage of the bills at the National Assembly is an apt case in point. The resistance the bills met at the National Assembly and from women all across Lagos and Nigeria is reflective of societal norms in a deeply patriarchal society. If we are to make headway in having policies and legislation that are gender sensitive, we must craft our advocacy in a way that underscores the beneficial and not threatening nature of the proposed legislation. I am saying that women, I know that to get anything through the National Assembly, you must try to lobby and cajole our men. And the same I say to our leaders in Lagos State. We are begging you. I am saying that the National Assembly, the Assembly, Lagos State Assembly, we need women. Those seats must be occupied. We need women, we need a 35% affirmative action. And I tell you, 35% is nothing compared to what is happening in some other countries that we have visited as a parliament in National Assembly. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the second obstacle pertains to capacity gaps, whereby women are less likely than men to have access to education and resources needed to contend effectively for political leadership. To address these gaps, we must be intentional in resourcing, grooming, enabling, and empowering girls and young women for political leadership. Once again, because I've been told I should spend 2 minutes here, I am begging you, Mr. Governor, Mr. Deputy Governor, all our leaders seated here, we have space to occupy, both at the State of Assembly and the National Assembly. Women, please, if you cannot support your core woman, please don't get involved. If you are ready to support your core woman, we are ready to go along and get our seat in those 2 houses. Thank you very much.
In Lagos, indeed, the wife of Mr. Governor, the First Lady of Lagos State. Please put your hands together for Dr. Mrs. Gloriana Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu. I cannot tell your applause.
Ibijoke ayabaru wa hijo hijo ayabaru wa hijo hijo.
And his brother, Kadri Obafemi Hamzat, with all the distinguished excellencies here present, I rejoice with you as we celebrate the International Women's Day 2022 on this day, the 8th of March. The tag name for the International Women's Day celebration today is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. Hashtag break the bias. Hashtag break the bias. Last year, it was choose the challenge, I think. I can't remember. It is a pleasure to welcome you all to the year 2022 International Women's Day celebration that is being organized by the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation as an event targeted at bringing women together in order to celebrate their social, economic, and political achievements in Lagos State. I appreciate the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Honorable Mrs. Cecilia Bolaji Dada, the Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Oluyemi Kale-Sanwo, the Senior Special Advisor to the Governor on Women Affairs, Mrs. Fumi Adegoke, and the entire team in the Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation for the huge success of this program marked every year. Let me also use this opportunity to acknowledge all our women in Lagos State for staying in their homes, especially those women on the streets who toil tirelessly to put food on the table for their families. As we celebrate International Women's Day today, I wish to encourage all our women to thrive and be the best in their chosen fields, as this will lead to success and make them stand out even amongst their male counterparts. By so doing, more women will get to power and occupy better positions at all levels of governance. I thank the Governor of Lagos State, my dearest husband, Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, champion of the He for She campaign and advocate for gender equality in Lagos State. The state government has zero tolerance for all forms of gender-based violence, child marriages, sexual harassment, and harmful practices against women and girls. It is a statement of fact that serious efforts have been made in terms of stepping up advocacy, ramping up, and the fight against sexual and gender-based violence in the state. It is gratifying that we are making appreciable progress, as evidenced by the successes recorded in the fight against the menace, and in line with the slogan of this year's celebration. We must all team up with the state government to break the bias against our women and girls. Also, we have supportive programs through the Ministry of Women Affairs, which the Honorable Commissioner of Women Affairs has mentioned earlier. I would like to remind the women here that's our popular slogan that we normally mention during the campaign. No nation, no woman, no nation. No woman, no nation. This morning, we were in front of the House of Assembly, the Lagos State House of Assembly, standing there, representing the women, especially against the verdict that was given on the 1st of March, 2022, in which our bills were thrown out. And I stand here and I look at this stadium, and I see that 99.9% of this stadium is filled with women. And we are hoping one day that we'll have this same representation in our State House of Assembly, Federal House of Assembly, at the local government level, the grassroots level, and like that and like that. As I was coming down, there was a breaking news. I read to you. The Federal House of Representatives has revoked its decision on the 3 of the 5 gender bills proposed as amendable to the 1999 Constitution. And these bills are Citizenship Bill, Indigenship Bill, and the 35% affirmative action. The bills have been recommitted for consideration in 4 weeks' time. Now that is good news for us. That is really good news. Because on the 1st of March, a lot of women were downcast. They were so sad that how can we are the women, we are your brother, we are your wives, we are your sisters, we are the mothers We are your girlfriends. We are your daughters. We are here to support the government to ensure that governance reaches its peak level, to ensure that Lagos State, Nigeria as a whole, reaches its peak. I want to commend Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, he for she for Lagos State, as well as his colleague in Kwara State, that have found it and deemed fit that 35% of the Executive Council should be filled with the female gender. Mr. Governor, sir, thank you very much. The message from the women again is that as we have it at the executive level, let it go down to the judiciary, the legislative, the local government level, the wards, just like that. That is what they're clamoring for. Before I leave the podium, I would like all the women to stand up. Please stand up. And let us give 1 minute silence for Oluwabamiche Ayanwole, the young lady that was gruesomely murdered with a stain and a slap on our face in our own BRT bus. Lagos State condemns ritual killing. It is not acceptable. We pray that this will be the last time that we hear this kind of bad news. In Jesus' name. Please let us stand up for 1 minute silence for Oluwabamiche Ayanwole. May the soul of the faithful departed rest in peace. Amen. And as we continue to preach, break the bias, break the constitutional bias, I pray from the various marketplaces, from the various developmental partners, you go back and spread that word. Once again, congratulations on witnessing the 2022 International Women's Day. Please break the bias.
To make Nigeria proud, especially Lagos State.
Jide, 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 Jide. Kata tuji kata la reluwe bo, reluwe bo. Asaro ju reluwe bo, reluwe bo. Gómìnà reluwe Jide, reluwe Jide.
Thank you very, very much for continuing to support your government. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ìyáàfin náà ni wọ́n, Mrs. Cecilia Dada, tó jẹ́ commissioner wa, commissioner àwọn. Ọ̀rọ̀ mọ́, àdúpẹ́ fún yín o, lágbára Ọlọ́run, lágbára Ọlọ́run, lágbára Ọlọ́run, ní ṣe lásán o, mú fáwọn ọmọ ni o, àwa náà ní fi bú yín o, wọn ní fi bú yín pé wọ́n tún ti gbé gèlè bó náà lọ, ayọ̀bẹ̀ máa jẹ́ mọ́nú ni o, bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn fún yín o, ẹ̀yin ìyá ẹ̀yin lẹ́ mú ìlú dúró o, ẹ̀yin lẹ́ mú wa torí wá fi ń wú o, Ọlọ́run ò ní gbà yín lọ́wọ́ wa o. And so you can see that as a government, we're joined here with very, very many beautiful women, beautiful ladies, beautiful, outstanding Lagosians, hardworking, resourceful, diligent, committed women of Lagos State to celebrate this year's International Women's Day. It's a special one for me, and one that I want to thank all of you for your contribution to our administration and the sustained prosperity of our Lagos. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, ìdùnnú Èkó, gbogbo wa náà la máa jayọ̀ ẹ̀délé. As a progressive state, we recognize the immense value and potential that our women are endowed with and which cannot be overlooked. If we truly want to desire the potentials that we look forward to, then we must have our women right by our side. And you can see from the themes of this year's celebration, gender equality today for a sustainable tomorrow. It is today. We have to have that gender equality. You have to stand beside us. And I'm happy that the First Lady have announced to us that 3 of the bills that they couldn't pass in the House of Representatives this afternoon, they have reversed 3 of them and they said they are going to look at it again. Bill that has to do with citizenship, I think is a no-brainer, a deserve. Bills that have to do with indigenship, bills that have to do with the 35% affirmative action. We are already doing that in Lagos. We are happy that indeed Lagos continue to be the lighting shine and the leader of all of this great initiative. We stand here, we believe that we desire equal opportunity for both our male and our female gender to pursue their dreams and to attain their full potential. Available statistics as indices of development have shown that societies where women are active partners and participants in development are more likely to attain higher level of prosperity, growth, and progress. Gbogbo ìlú tóbìnrin bá ti wà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn la fi sípò, ó ti fi hàn dájúdájú pé nǹkan máa ń lọ gbòòrò, nǹkan máa ń ṣí dídé, ó máa ń di dídá, nǹkan tó fi hàn nìyẹn, ó dẹ̀ di dandan káà náà gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Such societies have shown, like a bird, which requires 2 wings to fly and soar, the desired level of growth and development can only be achieved when the potentials of the 2 genders are optimally harnessed. In Lagos State, our commitment to this yearly celebration reflects our belief in the critical role of our women and the roles that they must play, and they are currently playing side by side with their men. As I address you today, I can attest to the invaluable contribution of our women in making the attainment of their goals and objectives come to reality under our team's agenda. I'm sure you know that we're keeping our 35% in our cabinet, and I think Lagos State deserves a round of applause for that. That is the highest number of female in any cabinet in the country. Also to say that you know that our Secretary to Government is a woman. Women Affairs and Poverty, we're the only ones that have a full ministry that is also being activated year on year. The highest number of permanent secretaries that we have in our service are women. The highest number of judges that we have in our judiciary are women. The highest number of heads of government agencies and parastatals that we have in Lagos are women. Sherry bye. Ní ti permanent secretary, obìnrin pọ̀ jù ọkùnrin lọ. Ní ti àwọn adájọ́ àgbà àtàdájọ́ kékeré, obìnrin pọ̀ jù ọkùnrin lọ l'Ékòó. Ní gbogbo àwọn ilé òṣìṣẹ́ ńláńlá l'Ékòó, obìnrin pọ̀ jù ọkùnrin lọ. Bá ṣe fẹ́ jẹ́ kó l'Ékòó nìyẹn o. Inú mi dẹ̀ dùn pé gbogbo yín náà lẹ wá fi ìjókòó lẹ wá fi yẹ wá sí lénìí. I want to say a big thank you to all of you for your contribution, working together to support our government and to support all of our resourceful women in also the private sector, including especially the informal sector, who have made a collective dream of a greater Lagos closer to reality than in our community. I also want to use this opportunity to thank members of council who are also our supporting the men as we continue to push on our team's agenda. Lagos also was the first in the nation to pioneer the introduction of 6-month full-paid maternity leave. Lagos State was the first to push that. Táwọn ìyá wa bá ti lóyún, tó bá lọ bímọ ní ilé iṣẹ́ ní Lagos State, oṣù 4 la máa ń fún wọn kó fi tọ́jú ọmọ nílé o. Àwa la bẹ̀rẹ̀ nílùú wa yìí, a dẹ̀ tún mú lọ nítorí pé a mọ ìhà tẹ́kọ̀ sí, a dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé a gbọ́dọ̀ fún yín ní àsìkò kẹ́bẹ̀ jẹ́ kí gbogbo ara kó padà síbi tó yẹ pé kẹ́ tó lè padà sẹ́nu iṣẹ́, nítorí ẹ̀ la fi ń ṣe gbogbo eléyìí o. And so in many ways, Lagos continues to demonstrate the seriousness about improving the quality of lives of our women. We have seen all of our modest achievements, all of the various thousands of interventions has been expressed by the Commissioner for WAPA. And I want to thank her and all of our colleagues for all of the various women interventions that we've had to do in Lagos State. As we focus on getting more money into your hands, because that's what we want to do. We We want to ensure that we get more money into your hands. You, our women, petty traders, market women, small businesses, we want to get more money into your hands. We believe that once we empower you, you will empower your family. And once you are empowering your family, you are empowering the state. Once you empower the state, you are empowering the nation. And so that's why we say that any empowerment to a woman is an empowerment to a nation. And that's what we're about. That's what we want to continue to do. We also want to say something that is very important to us, which is the issue around domestic violence and sexual abuse. We have set up a very strong response. We are the only one that has set up a full agency for domestic violence and sexual abuse. We're the first to set it up, and we're going to put that to a full board within the next couple of weeks, so that we do not want to hear that there will be any woman, for whatever means, because of her gender, she has been abused and she doesn't get justice. And that's why we'll not let anything go, without ensuring that justice will always prevail. Justice is what we're about, and we'll continue to ensure that justice prevails in everything we do. The First Lady had explained to us, while asking us to stand for 1 minute silence on the unfortunate incident of the lady that was kidnapped, where the police are currently investigating, and I can assure you that they will get to the full root of it, and everybody that was involved in this completely unspeakable and despicable act will be punished with the highest, laws that are available on the land meted against such people. And I want to assure us that we'll continue to ensure that our BRT buses remain safe, secure for all of our passengers. Today, everyone knows when it comes to responsive matters of gender-based violence, nobody is as proactive as Lagos State. Let me therefore use this opportunity once again to thank all of you, to congratulate all of you, to say that I'm truly, really excited with the turnout of events here today, and to congratulate all of our 57 awardees this year, knowing fully well that next year we'll make it even bigger, better, and bolder. Thank you very much. Together, we will break the bias for a sustainable tomorrow. Together, we will break the bias for a sustainable tomorrow. I congratulate you on our International Women's Day celebration, and I wish all of our great women in Lagos a very successful event. Thank you. Ẹ ṣé gan ni o. Thank you.
Please applaud Mr. Governor. Jide. Katola reluwe mbo. Asọ̀rọ̀ ju reluwe mbo. Gómìnà reluwe Jide. Ọmọ Èkó Jide. Katola reluwe mbo. Asọ̀rọ̀ ju reluwe mbo. Gómìnà reluwe Jide. Ọmọ Èkó reluwe Jide. Katola reluwe mbo. Asọ̀rọ̀ ju reluwe mbo. Gómìnà reluwe Jide.